Spirit Halloween? No, it's just the bag that I'm using to cover up what this is. But it is a Grail item for me, and I can't wait to show you this wonderful gift that I got from an extremely wonderful person from Palefest this year. Let's go.
Make sure to press the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what?
What?
Turn on the notifications. Thank you.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the MaskMonger channel. It is I, the MaskMonger, Vinny Rowlack, Tim Cecil, whoever else you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. Anywho, on this channel, we do unboxings, we do unbaggings, we do boxings, we do baggings, because I make stuff too. I show off my work. I show off my collection. We talk about bands. We talk about masks, because I'm the mask monger. I monger masks, like a fishmonger or a fearmonger or a warmonger. Although, thank you. Hopefully you liked the thumbnail. If you didn't, whatever. At least you're following me. Are you following me? Are you subscribed? You wanna? Am I looking at it right now? No, it's over here. Sorry. Hit it. Anywho, we're still reeling from post Palefest depression, but I am stretching it out as much as I can so that I can. By the way, I got a new microphone. Hopefully, it's picking this up and not my air conditioner in the back. I'm stretching it out as much as I can because Palefest is like my favorite convention that I'm a part of. It's a family, it's where I can go see my other friends in the mask making community that I would probably never ever see. And now that it's gone, I'm scared that I'll never ever see them again. Yeah, we can talk on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and text and call and FaceTime and stuff like that, but there's always something that is the personal connection, where even though I can see you on a screen, it still doesn't beat being face to face with your friends. But today, I've already gone through, I think I've shown you like 5 or 6 things, and now we're up to 6, 7. This piece was given to me by a really good friend of mine, Jackson Loudridge. Now, we kind of bonded over the fact that besides the whole mask making Palefest thing, we both were really good friends with Ricardo Grimm, the rapper that was being endorsed by Sid Wilson, formerly of Slipknot. And he was a really good dude. Him and me talked on levels beyond just the rap games and stuff like that. We were talking about just life in general, being family, being family to, your daughter's sons, your nieces, your nephews, making life choices that will alter your existence then on. Even having messaged him a week or two prior to Palefest, or before, or a week or two prior, not to Palefest, but a week or two prior to his passing. And so it did for him and me to have that kind of a connection and a friendship. It really did hit hard when I found out. Like I did, I legitimately cried. And they're like, well, you only saw him at Palefest 23 and Palefest 3D. And it's like, yeah, but him and me had that camaraderie that we weren't talking to each other as fan and artists. We were talking to each other as, uncles, fathers, stuff like that, sharing those stories. And the cool thing about Palefest is even being fans like me, I'm going to be 44 in less than a month. And there are these people in their 20s and 30s, even some people that haven't even hit 20 yet, that I am fans of their work, of their artistry. And I get to meet them in person and talk to them. And especially when I find out that these people that I look up to and I'm fans of are actually fans of my work too, it's such a great thing. And it really sucks it's gone. I will never stop talking about how much it sucks that it's gone. But so he was really good friends with Jackson as well. And we both talked to each other multiple times after his passing, just because, we needed somebody else that had that connection with him to talk and stuff. But I'm veering off the path. So at Palefest, he came to see me. There was a mask that he wanted that I had because it was a mask that I had gifted to Grimm at the last Palefest, and at his service, they decided to have that on display amongst his other masks that he actually wore and performed in. And so I didn't realize how much the mask had mattered to him, as I was told. So that hit me hard. That made me cry. Because sometimes when you have those friendships, you think, when we're gone, we're done talking to each other, we don't think about the friendships that we have, or the conversations that we have. And he proved otherwise. He proved that, yes, he still remembers our conversations from the Pale Fest and stuff like that. He still remembers our conversations back and forth through Instagram. So like really, really, really knowing how cool of a dude he was, and also getting that confirmation from Jackson is just, it was good to know that it wasn't just a friendship felt on my side, it was felt on his as well. So I still had a copy of that mask that he saw, and I told him, I'm holding it for you. And I wasn't going to tell him this yet because, of everything that happened and our camaraderie and our friendship with him. I was going to actually just give it to him as well. I was going to play it off throughout Palefest that, come on, I'll give you a discount. Don't worry. Da, 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 da. And what I did was I did that. And then at the last minute, it was just like, hey, we're good. This is how I wanted it to be. But what Jackson was doing was he was going around showing his appreciation to the other mask makers that he was fans of. And he is a mask collector himself. Duh. He was actually a part of our mask exchange we did last year, where he actually gifted me the monk oddball that Sid had worn for a Japanese toy magazine, as well as this mad scientist over here, which I absolutely love because I, as Vinny Ratlock, the Rad Scientist, am a mad scientist pro wrestler gimmick. So that just works perfectly. And so what he was doing was he had two big sacks of masks. Some were handmade, some were vintage and stuff. And he was like, look, I just want to lighten my load, my collection at home. Go through it, see what you want. See if there's one mask that really pops out. And at first, the one that popped out was a Swollen Teeth Mega Mask that he had actually handmade. And I was like, this is actually really good. He goes, well, I don't know. I said, no, I actually really like this. So I was like, I think I'm going to be leaning towards this. And he's like, well, I mean, I got more stuff in there and everything. So I was originally going to just take that mask and be happy with it. So as I kept digging, I came across this one mask. And at first I looked, I was like, okay. And then I picked it back up. I was like, wait a minute. And started going through my files. And I'm like, I know what this mask is. And I said, I don't think you know what you have. But I said, the only reason why I don't think you know what you have is because you're not a fan of them. And he was like, what is it? And I told him what I thought it was. And he was like, I don't know. And he was like, how would we find out? I mean, it was like, where's Mike Covert? So immediately, it was funny too, because as we're trying to figure that out, I was like, where is Mike Covert? And he just so happens to start walking by. And I said, Jackson, lift the mask out of the bag and show him. I said, Mike, is that what I think it is? And he looked dead at it. He was like, yes, it is. I said, that is my mask. And I said, I really hope I'm not, insulting you by picking this vintage mask over your handmade Swollen Teeth mask. Because while, yes, he did a great job on that mask and stuff, this has a little more meaning to me because of my fandom. And this is a Holy Grail item. And so I'm going to show it to you now. This is a vintage Flocked Devil. Boom, look at that. And some of you guys are like, okay, whatever, Flocked Devil. It's vinyl, as you can see, stitched in with the hair. I'll pull this out. Amazing job with it. I still haven't even put it on yet. Look at the interior. It's got a nice lining interior. Doesn't smell like it's been in like a smoker's home or anything like that. This is in such good, condition. Yes, there is some balding here and there, but that's going to happen with flocked, stuff. If it's being put in a closet, thrown in a bag, thrown in a box, stuff like that, it's going to have wear and tear. Now it escapes me. Mike told me the brand it was, and I'm not seeing one right now, so I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm just going to move my mouth and edit in the audio of what it is. This is a 1989 Topstone Fuzzy Devil Mask. So now, besides telling you that, you know the year it was around. The significance of this is it's a Grail piece for me because these are extremely hard to find, and this is worn by the, at the time, drummer of Psychotic Symphony. Yes, a Psychotic Symphony piece. When they were filming Bad Channels, the movie, the drummer at the time was wearing this mask. I think several other times than that, he was wearing the mask and also had like an extra hood over it. But for the movie, this was the mask that he wore. Hey guys, I had to pause real quick because while I'm editing, I actually found out some really cool information and some extra history behind this mask that I didn't even know, but I heard from it directly from Krusty Utter himself. And this is amazing. I didn't know what to think of it. So here is the info right now. When I asked Krusty Utter to confirm about this mask being used by the original drummer, he actually brought this knowledge to me that I actually didn't know. This is what he actually has written me directly. So the Bad Channels video drummer was Rich Young. He was technically never our drummer because he was family and brother to our bass player Tim and other guitarist Brian. We were between drummers, so we got him to come with us filming the video. He's a really great drummer, but didn't do but 1 or 2 shows with us. But before Rich, we had Daryl. He was our drummer for a few years. He dressed like the devil and called himself Reverend Ilrad, which is, I don't know. But Daryl didn't use that particular mask. We found that mask for Rich to use during the movie. We didn't know if Daryl was going to return, so we kept the devil character for the time being. He didn't return, and we got baby head cheese. I'm unsure of the exact mask Daryl used. I'd have another look at the older videos figured out, but the mask you have is the one that is the Bad Channels version. Okay, so my question is, would you consider it an oddball? Because it was worn by the guy at Bad Channels. They kept the devil motif because that's what the original drummer was doing because they didn't know if he would be back or not. But this mask was picked out specifically for the guitarist and the drummer's brother, Young, to wear this while performing in the music video that would be a part of the movie Bad Channels. Now, he did say that he did perform with them for 1 or 2 other shows. So as far as I'm concerned, that makes you a band member. So yeah, this devil mask was not the original devil mask, and it wasn't the original drummer, but it was worn by a drummer who was a part of Psychotic Symphony during the time of the filming for Bad Channels. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I do have a couple other Psychotic Symphony fans that had sent me better shots of the drummer and this mask, in which I will show you now. So this is why this piece to me is awesome. I, as well as Mike Covert, as well as John Drott, as well as AJ Good, is making a Psychotic Symphony collection. Now, mine is smaller. Theirs are larger because, I could make mine just as big for the fact that I, work the deal out with Psychotic Symphony, being a fan and now a friend of theirs, to where I am making newer masks and hybrid masks and like 0.20 masks, present day style for them, on the chance that they decide to either A, do a reunion show, or B, do any kind of appearance as with the moniker Psychotic Symphony. Like, for example, let's say one of the Days of the Dead or Horror Hound Weekends or Horror Expos, anything that would deal with horror movies and stuff like that. Let's say they got a wild, hair up their butt, and they decided, hey, bad channels, horror sci-fi, I would like to do an appearance. And I'm the guy, I'm Krusty Utter from Psychotic Symphony. I was in Bad Channels. I was a nostalgic, theatrical, aka novelty, metal band from the 90s. If he wanted to, he could easily show up and do that. And there will be people there that will either A, know who he is and want to get an autograph and a photo and stuff like that, or B, not know who he is, go discover the film, go discover their music, and become fans automatically. Once again, at Palefest this year, because of me diving in headfirst, making masks for the band, in which every single mask that I made for them, they have in return purchased one of those masks on me to have for themselves. Like I said, I think I've already shown off the Petrophilo, where he himself not only bought the mask off me, but he put it on with his original clown outfit and held the rotted chicken feet in front of him. Krusty has the sculpt that I did, as well as I call it the Skeletor version. And even Zoid Sweetie has the hybrid that I made. So the fact that they are that much into my mask making, and the fact that they basically said, you can use our trademark, you can be an official licensed mask maker, mask producer. So when you put it out there, you can put our logo on it and say, this is official, Psychotic Symphony stuff, and working the deal out with them to where even like one of with Zoid, when I sell a mask, 20% of it goes to like a dog rescue. So it goes to charity and stuff like that. So now we're also giving back to the community and whatnot. So I could easily put those in my collection too, because I make it. Why not? But my whole thing is I want to look for more stuff that is beyond what I've made. And this is one of them. And I also have a spearhead, which is the same head sculpt that the Petrophilo mask is. Yes, it is different hair, different paint job, and a different hat, but the mask part itself is the original, from the original mold that they did when they would cast and then add different hats and hairs and paint jobs through their spearhead or conehead or spearhead series. So I have that. I have what you saw. Mike Covert did a mold and cast of the Zoid Sweetie original Topstone, I think it was like Poindexter new skin mask. So yes, even though yes, it is a recreation, it is still, from the original mask. And now I have this guy, and this is awesome. And like I said, Covert said these are extremely hard to find. He said he's been looking one for a while, but I was able to nab it first. Sorry, but but yeah, this is so cool. And I love the flocked. I want to learn to do that. Eventually, I want to make some flock masks. That'll be cool. I also want to eventually just work on doing vinyl masks and stuff. But that is so, the condition of this is so good. There is no, like, besides right here, and even here on the edge, like that's how they tapered it off. So there's no fraying in the stitching. All the stitching is good. There's no real at all staining on the inside of the mask. The only thing that there is there's just a couple little bald spots outside. Very awesome piece. I am so happy to have this. Let's do some close-up hero shots or whatever you want to call it. And once again, Jackson, thank you so much. Thank you for being a brother in the hobby and also a friend. I will never forget this. And until next time, guys, as I always say, not worn this yet. This is going to be my first time wearing it. I'm doing it on camera. I'm excited. So I'm going to take this, do some quick little movements, and be done with the video. It is kind of a tight fit. I have a big head. I got a big fit, and then it fits the hat. So you ain't see me wearing a damn thing green, bitch.